When I first started getting into filmmaking, I really thought that the more gear you had, the better you were. It almost felt like a checklist. New lens? Check. New mic? Check. Big expensive light? Check. And honestly, it was fun at first, but over time it just started feeling heavy, not just physically heavy, but mentally too. I realized that I was spending more time fiddling with gear and stressing about what to use than actually making stuff. That's when I started questioning it. Is this actually helping me be a better filmmaker, or am I just collecting stuff to feel like I'm progressing? Honestly, there wasn't some big dramatic moment where I decided I'm done with all of this, but it was way more subtle. Every shoot just started feeling harder than it needed to be. I'd waste so much time asking myself, should I use this tripod? Maybe the gimbal, or wait, maybe the handheld looks cooler. And by the time I decided, half of my energy was already gone. I think that's when it finally clicked for me that gear was supposed to make things easier, right? But somehow it was just adding more noise. I realized maybe it's not about having everything, maybe it's about needing less. Letting go of gear was weirdly emotional. Every lens, every mic felt like a little badge I'd earned, and I kept thinking, what if I need it someday? What if I regret selling it? But deep down, I knew most of it just sat there collecting dust. So I gave myself this rule: if I hadn't used it somewhere in 3 or 4 projects, it had to go. I sold a bunch of stuff, donated some, and packed a few sentimental pieces away. And honestly, with every box that left, I felt lighter, literally lighter, but also mentally clearer. The crazy part is that when you have less gear, you actually start to notice more. You begin paying closer attention to the creative message, and gear stops being an excuse not to create. You're no longer hiding behind 15 lenses or complicated setups. You use what you have, and it forces you to get creative. You start trusting your instincts, framing shots with intuition instead of constantly second guessing yourself. It's funny that people often think minimalism is about doing less, but for you it can actually unlock so much more. More freedom, more focus, and more fun. So now your setup is crazy simple. You've got your main camera, your favorite lens, a mic that just works without you having to think about it, and a small light you can grab if you need it. And that's it. Gone are the days of packing endless bags and worrying about which gadget to use for every shot. Everything fits easily into a single bag, making moving between locations effortless and setting up a breeze. You love how streamlined it feels. You know that each piece of gear inside and out, so there is no time wasted fumbling with unfamiliar settings or searching for that one accessory buried at the bottom of your case. You can set it up in just 5 minutes and jump straight into filming, fully focused on capturing the story you want to tell. There is no more overthinking about the technical details or second guessing whether you should try a new gadget you saw online. It's just you, your creative vision, and the essentials, and honestly, that freedom feels amazing. Not only does this simplicity save you time and energy, but it also helps you stay present and engage with your subject, making every shoot more enjoyable and authentic. If you're feeling overwhelmed with filmmaking right now, first of all, you're not alone. It's easy to scroll through social media and think everyone else has these elaborate setups, 5 different cameras and endless high-end gear. But honestly, you probably don't need half of what you see to make something truly amazing. In fact, having too much gear can actually slow you down, weighing you down with endless options and distractions. Start small, choose the pieces of equipment you genuinely use and trust, the tools that feel comfortable in your hands, set aside everything else for now and let yourself focus on the process, not the gear. You'll find that when you're not obsessing over the latest gadgets or worrying about what you're missing, you can actually spend more time creating, experimenting, and telling the stories you care about. Trust yourself and your instincts. It's not the gear that brings your vision to life or moves your audience, it's your creativity, your perspective, and your voice. The best stories come from you, not what's in your bag. Minimalism for me wasn't about becoming some super hardcore minimalist with just one spoon and a camera. It was about making space. I realized I didn't need to strip away everything to the bare bones, but I did need room for better ideas, for a bit of breathing space, and to actually enjoy filming again. Getting rid of the extra weight, both physically by letting go of unused gear and mentally by releasing the pressure to own everything, gave me the freedom to breathe creatively. Suddenly my mind felt clearer, my workspace less cluttered, and I could focus on the parts of filmmaking that genuinely excited me. If I ever started feeling stuck or uninspired, I found that just clearing a little space on my desk, in my camera bag, or even in my mind made a big difference. And honestly, every time I do this, I'm surprised at how much potential I already have in front of me. Sometimes all you really need is to get out of your own and let creativity fill the space that you opened up.